The Necron homeworld sleeps, but battle is just about to commence. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, my biggest game of 8th edition yet. We are going to be playing 150 power level. I'm really looking forward to this. Now, before we get on with the game, if you would like to keep up to date with the wonders of Warhammer 40k, then please give me a sub and hit the bell button so you don't miss an upload. Right, let's get straight on and have a look at the Necron list. Okay, so let's have a look at my list, and as we're playing quite a large game, I thought it was only right that I got my Necrons out. So this is my new incarnation of the list. Obviously this is quite a big game, so in smaller games I'm going to have to jiggle around with the list, but yeah, really looking forward to playing this for the first time in 8th edition. So I'm using the battalion detachment to give me 6 command points. So let's have a quick look at the army. So heading up the army, pretty appropriate for flayed ones, I have Imhotep the Stormlord, and the other HQ choice is going to be a Cryptic. Troops wise, I've got one big blob of 20 warriors. I know I don't normally say go for 20 warriors, but with power level points it's basically either 10 or 20. And then I have 2 squads of 10 Immortals. Going for Gauls purely because I have Gauls on the actual models. Fast attack choice, I have 3 squads of 6 Wraiths, and they've all got the particle caster. At the back I have 2 individual tomb spiders, this one here and the one all the way over there, and they've both got gloom prisms and the dual guns in this game. And of course, what would this army be without flayed ones? So we have 60 flayed ones, 6 units of 10, and that is the army 150 power level. Right, let's have a look at my opponent's army. Okay, so here we are, we've set the table up, we've got the mission done, we've deployed, we're ready to go. I am playing Ben, one of my subscribers, and he's bought his Sisters of Battle Deathwatch army. Now this is a work in progress army, so it's gradually trying to get it together. But I'm going to let Ben go over all of the units that he has in the army. Okay, so we've got the Deathwatch squad here, these 5 guys. The Sisters of Battle squad here. With an Omega Fire, a Priest as well, Captain Artemis, Canoness, Inquisitor Greyfax, another Omega Fire and another Priest, another Sister Battle Squad, an Immolator with some Archoflagellants inside, and an Exorcist, a Venerable Dreadnought, a Chaplain Deathwatch, and another Deathwatch squad, and then in reserve I have a Seraphim squads, a Vanguard Veteran squad, and some Terminators, and an Assassin. Okay, there you go, so loads of units, and most of them I have never played before, so it's going to be really interesting. So I have deployed my blob here, literally. So I've got Tomb Spider just on the flank. We're playing the deployment zone where sort of a little point going to the centre of the table just there. So I've got both of the Wraith squads there and one just hiding behind the building with another Tomb Spider, and then the blob in the middle, Imhotep, the Cryptic, and the Warriors and Immortals just trying to keep within the 3-inch sort of bubble of themselves. Okay, so we have drawn the mission. We're going to play a deadlock. We've got the objectives. We've got one on the flank here, one just there, one in the middle, one where Imhotep is standing, one over there by the Dreadnought, and one right on this side of the table by the big tomb. I've just drawn my cards. I'm not going to go over all the cards, but I've got quite a good different array of cards, so some objective scoring, etc. So we'll come to that as we go on. Right, I am currently going first, but Ben is going to have a go at seizing the initiative. Let's see if he can do it. A 4. No, not quite. Okay, so it's going to be Necrons turn 1. Okay, beginning of the turn, Imhotep has unleashed the storm, targeted the Deathwatch over here, and killed 3 of them. I then rolled a 6 for the squad next to it. Who are they? So I managed to kill 2 of the sisters, so 5 models gone, mortal wounds from Imatech, and I haven't even done a thing yet. Okay, so we were in the Necron turn. I've currently moved and shot, so I basically did a massive advance. So I moved the spider towards the flank there, moved both squads of these wraiths up forward, moved the whole phalanx up forward here as well, and then I moved the spiders and wraiths just up over there. I then came in from reserve with all of the flayed ones, so we've got 1 squad just there, 2 squads there, 1 squad in the middle, and 2 squads just over here. I did shoot. I shot with the warriors at that tank there. Just I think it was like 3 shots came in, saved everything. However, I did manage to kill a couple of those sisters there with the immortals. So now we're going to go on to the assault phase, see how many of these units of flayed ones we can actually get into the assault. Okay, Necron Assault Phase Turn 1. The flayed ones try to get in. So I started with this unit onto the Deathwatch guys. I failed the charge. I didn't lose anything from Overwatch. I did use a command point to reroll 1 dice because I had a 5, but I still was unable to get in by 1 inch. So I assaulted here into the sisters. I saved all the Overwatch, but didn't quite make it in either. Bit of a blow. I was trying to get this objective because that's the card that I have. I was hoping to get in, maybe consolidate, get onto the objective, but that didn't happen. And then we went over this side of the table. These guys here tried to get into here. I lost 1 in Overwatch and fouled my charge. So I put these guys into here, lost nothing in Overwatch and failed the charge. And then these guys here went into the tank, lost nothing in Overwatch and failed the charge. However, I did get 1 successful charge. The flayed ones that were on there managed to get in. No one died in Overwatch. I killed 5 of the sisters. We went to the morale phase, and that unit there, the other unit of sisters and these Deathwatch guys all managed to not foul any morale, so no extra losses. We went to the objective points. I had a card where I had to basically be within the centre of the table with no enemy units. That was D3. I rolled a 5, that gave me 3 points. And then I had another card where I had to control 3 objectives. So I've got this one, the one in the middle, and of course this one here. And that was a D3 as well. And I rolled a 3, so that gave me 2 points. So I got 5 points in my first turn, not bad. As we move in to the Sisters stroke Deathwatch, turn 1. Okay, so turn 1 for the sisters. Pretty eventful turn that. So everything basically moved to try and get best positions to take objectives, in particular the Dreadnought there, because one of the cards was to score that point. And then the 2 Deathwatch jump pack guys, 1 moved up towards that flayed 1 unit and 1 towards that one over there. This tank moved up towards the middle of the table. All 3 of those characters aimed up ready to assault the flayed ones. And then the Terminators came down just here on the edge of the board. Right the way over this side of the table, the Assassin, the Everseer, came right over there. I made a slight error because I left a little gap for Imatech, and as you can see, it actually got into the assault. However, let's go back to shooting. So these Terminators here with melter gun power fists shot into my flayed 1 squad here along with these Deathwatch guys and totally wiped them out. That gave the sisters first blood. These sisters here shot into these flayed ones, lost a couple of flayed ones just there, and then the other stuff on this side of the table all targeted my wraiths, and I managed to save everything apart from 1 wound. So I've got 1 wound on a wraith. And then we went into the assault. This guy here, the chaplain, tried to assault the flayed ones, was out of range. The Deathwatch managed to get in. Pretty nasty amount of attacks coming in. However, I managed to survive with 5 of those flayed ones, and in the assault back I killed all of the Deathwatch. And then over here the other Deathwatch came in, they also killed 5 flayed ones, and in return I got them down to just 2, so we're just both locked in combat there. Over here the characters coming in doing quite well, killing 5 of my flayed ones, and then the sisters didn't, they didn't do anything, and then my flayed ones assaulted back, and I killed 4 sisters, so we're just locked in combat there. Objective point wise, as I said, first blood for the sisters, and the only card they were able to score was that one there, so they get 2 points so far. We did do the assault over here with Imitech and the assassin. The assassin didn't roll particularly well, did manage to take 2 wounds off of Imitech. In return, I did nothing, the 4+ save saving everything. However, I did take 1 wound off in the Overwatch, so again we're just locked in combat there. Over this side, I forgot these girls. They came down here, tried to shoot and assault my Tomb Spider. I lost 2 wounds, in the shooting phase, but they weren't able to get in there in the assault. A command point was used, so just 2 command points left for the sisters as we move in to turn 2 for the Necrons. Okay, so turn 2 for the Necrons. So we started off with living metal. I managed to get Imitech there back 2 wounds, so he's got 5 wounds left. All the flayed ones, none of my RP worked apart from a couple. I managed to get 1 back on there, and I think it was 1 back on that unit, so nothing too spectacular. I then had to sort out the assassin who had previously assaulted Stormlord, so Stormlord came out of the assault, and I eyed the assassin up with those warriors. They couldn't really shoot much else, so I double tapped and managed to kill the assassin. The immortals here just moved up, trying to get in range of some sisters that were just standing over there. Shot them in and managed to kill I think 2 or 3 of those. In the meantime, these guys here just went on to that objective. The Tomb Spider had a mission to get onto this objective here for one of my victory points. He's looking very vulnerable because of these multi-gun Terminators, however he did manage to secure that point, so that was good. Right, and then we had some flayed ones here earlier. They had another mission to try and get this objective, so my idea was to assault the Deathwatch guys and try and get that objective. However, all 5 guys died for some very nasty grenade thing in Overwatch, killed me outright. Right, then we went on to here. The wraiths that were there just came up and decided to head over for this one because the warlord is in that little group there. Managed to kill the sisters off and one of the little characters, and wounded one of the other characters. The warlord is currently unharmed, but we're sort of locked in combat. I did lose 3 flayed ones from that. I sent the other wraiths into this dreadnought, took him down to 5 wounds. I haven't lost any wounds from that assault. And then these flayed ones here, I moved into the vehicle. I did shoot the immortals from there, took a couple of points off before assaulting the flayed ones, and I've reduced it down to 3 wounds, so at least it's not quite as efficient now, and hopefully it will stop it from shooting as well if it comes out of the assault. Over here, my flayed ones managed to kill the last 2 Deathwatch guys, and then I consolidated into the piece of terrain. And over here, the chaplain was assaulted by these flayed ones. I lost 2 flayed ones, and I took the chaplain down to 2 wounds. That's pretty much it, except for the Tomb Spider hiding over there. So he backtracked and he assaulted those girls there. I managed to kill 2, 1 from shooting, 1 from the assault, and I didn't take any wounds back. So we went to the points. I got 1 point for this guy here. I got 1 point for taking this objective, and I got a point for being on this objective for 2 turns. So it's taken my total up to 10 points after the first 2 turns. So the sisters have got a few to try and get back. They're currently on 1 point plus first blood. So turn 2 for the sisters. Let's see what they can do. Okay, so turn 2 for the sisters. With the cards that they've got, there weren't too many options in terms of getting points this turn. They've got to try and get this objective, so the Terminators moved up easily, killed my Tomb Spider with all the melter and everything, and that means they're free to get that objective next turn, so that's at least something they can do. Over here, basically everything that was here, all the characters and the sisters, all bundled into this assault with the Wraiths. I did lose all of the flayed ones that were in the assault, so no RP for them. However, I didn't lose any wounds on the Wraiths, and I've wounded these characters, a few wounds from each character, and I killed a few sisters as well. And then we move down here, the Dreadnought loses another wound. I didn't lose anything with the Wraiths. These, what are they called again, that got out of the tank?
Arco-flagellants.
Right, these, yeah, you heard, flagellants.
Yeah.
Sounds rude. They got out of the tank and assaulted my flayed ones. I lost 5 flayed ones. I did manage to kill a couple of those guys, and then they lost a few more from morale. And then I did destroy the tank, which actually gave me a point because I had a card where you had to kill something with 10 wounds or more. Over here, the Chaplain got me down to 1 flayed one, and I did no damage back. And over here, we just carried on the assault, and I killed 2 more sisters, just the leader left over there. And that's pretty much it. So we're going to move in now to turn 3 for the Necrons. Okay, so Necrons turn 3. Discarded the cards. I've basically made my cards up, so I've got 4. I had some not so good cards this time, so I had Kingslayer, Kira Psyker, Kira Flyer. There isn't a flyer on the board. So the card that I could do was kill a unit in shooting, or try to kill 3 in shooting for D3. So what I did is I started off by taking the Tomb Spider out of the assault and moved this blob of warriors up. My idea being to spitfire, try and kill that one, and then put the others into the Dreadnoughts. Now the Dreadnought was in assault with the Wraiths, so I came away with the squad of Wraiths. That's that squad there, and then the Wraiths that were up there I moved up here, ready to assault the Dread if I failed to kill him in the shooting phase. So I managed to take that girl out, so that at least gave me 1 point. I was shot into the Dread, but I didn't do any damage. I then assaulted with the Wraiths. I did lose a couple of Wraiths, but I got the Dread down to 1 wound now, so nearly dead. Over here we continued the assault. I lost 1 wound on my Wraith. I killed a couple of sisters, again a couple more wounds. The Warlord down to 1 wound, so I'm getting there. And that was pretty much it. So we're now going to move in to turn 3 for the sisters. Okay, so turn 3 for the sisters stroke Deathwatch. So these guys finally got on to objective number 1, scoring a point for the sisters. In the meantime, this tank here shot everything into the flayed ones. Did I lose any?
1.
1 flayed one, there you go, 1 flayed one die. Actually, what I forgot to say in my previous turn is I did really well on my RPs, actually getting that unit there, and this unit back to quite good numbers, at least 5 or 6 in each one. But anyway, back to this turn. So here the Dread slayed another Wraith before I took the final wound off of him. He didn't explode. And then we came to this assault. I managed to kill the Warlord, giving me the Warlord Kingslayer. I rolled a D3, only rolled a 1, but then I also got for killing a Psyker, and then I got slayed the Warlord, so I got 3 points actually in this turn. Did kill a couple of Deathwatch guys as well in the assault. I lost a Wraith in return. And that was it. So we are now going to move on to turn 4 for this rather resilient Necron force. Okay, so Necron turn 4. RP once again, got a few flayed ones up here and there, and then I made my advance on the units that were left, so concentrated on this tank. Brought the warriors up here, shot into it, only got 1 wound off, assaulted with the Wraiths and the flayed ones, only reduced it by another wound. The other set of wraiths that were there moved up over here, and the wraiths that were already in combat moved to this objective because that was one of the cards that I drew. I then shot in, killed a character. I shot in with those immortals and killed another character, went into the assault and I killed a third character, and that actually gave me another card, killing a character and then B, killing 3 characters. So my points have got sky high at the moment. The only other thing to note is that basically these Terminators here, they need to go for glory. They are going to go for glory as we move in to turn 4 for the Sisters. Right, here we go. It is happening. The Terminators are on the move. They're going for glory. Probably going to have a go at taking out these wraiths, I would imagine. Maybe even walk through the entire army. What do you think, guys? Think it's going to happen? Who knows? Okay, so turn 4 for the Sisters. Drew some cards, but nothing they could actually get any points. So it was glory time. These guys came up. They had 2 melter guns in range, and they did manage to kill one of the wraiths. How about that? Then we went into the assault. No damage here, and then here I took a few wounds off of that tank. So we're coming up to turn 5. The Necrons have got new orders. They have a new mission from the Star Gods. They have to take every single objective by the end of the game. They've got 2 turns to do it. That's their secret mission. Let's see if they can do it. Okay, so we both have had our turn 5. I just consolidated my troops on the objective. So 1 there, 1 over there, came out of the assault and went into that objective, and then the wraiths came up to there. I finished the guy off in my turn that was standing there and just consolidated there. These guys moved up and shot into the tank, taking another wound off, crippling it a little bit more. The cryptic went to that objective there, secured that, and these guys moved up, shot into the Terminators. I took 1 wound off in shooting. I then assaulted with the wraiths that were on that objective, moved up. I assaulted, managed to get within 3 inches of that objective should the game end, just to go for my secret mission. I did lose 1 wraith in my round, in my turn 5. I then lost another wraith in the Sisters' turn 5, so that wraith there is only on 1 wound. I did kill 1 Terminator, and the other Terminator there's got another wound, so I did a little bit of damage. So let's see if the game goes on to turn 6. So on a 3+, it does. Turn 6 coming up. Okay, so that is the end of both of our turn 6s. The Terminators here apparently have just had a beacon to say they've got to teleport away. It's just them left. I did manage to take the tank out. I've managed to secure all 6 objectives, my little personal mission. And points wise, it was 23 points to 3 for the Necrons. So a massive victory, but definitely a fun game. So I really hope you enjoyed the battle report. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Beam me up.